All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for the new season. Hello, Elijah. I'm just seeing the comments in now. You're going with the 2-2. I think Villa get it done today. I think I had 3-1 in my predictions. Let me just double check, Elijah. I hope you're still here in the chat, my friend. I'm sorry, I've been prepping everything before this. I went 3-1 to Newcastle United, to Aston Villa this game here. Audio sounding all good. Yeah, I've got Villa 3-1 on my predictions. I'm going to stay with that here. I just think there's a lot else going on at Newcastle. Focus isn't all quite there, but boy, am I pumped to be back. We got a new branding for Soccer Saturday now. We will be here weekly, ladies and gentlemen, for live streams on Saturday, whether it be Premier League, whether it be abroad in La Liga, Syria, or the Bundesliga. But this week's all about the Premier League. And what a matchup we've got in the opening day. It was chaos last time, 2 seasons ago, when these two teams met on the opening day. It was Newcastle's day then at St. James's Park. Will it be Villa's day here at Villa Park? Two squads that haven't had a whole of a lot of changes. Alanga obviously joining Newcastle. And you've also got Ramsdale as well, but he's on the bench. So the only real new face in these two sides who is starting today is Anthony Alanga. As for the rest, it's as you go. Bizot obviously in goal for Aston Villa. Emi Martinez looks like he's staying at the football club despite all the chatter. He looks like he will be coming back to the football club. Boy, is it good to be at Villa Park. I appreciate Elijah. I appreciate it a lot, my man. Good to have you on board for this live stream. If you're at home, join Elijah in the comments, guys. Let me know your predictions on 3-1 to the Villains here. As we've got the lineup up on screen. Here's Bizot making his debut with Emi Martinez suspended for this game here. Matty Cash and Luca Digne. Konza and Mings at the heart of centre. It is a very much as you were type team from last season. John McGinn plays in that more attacking midfield position. Boubacar Kamara and Amadou Onana is a combination I'm very excited about. And obviously you've got Ollie Watkins, who will look to refine that form from 2 seasons ago, playing up top with Yuri Tielemans in behind him. I've got the focus on Morgan Rogers and Boubacar Kamara for Aston Villa. And of course we're getting lag straight off the bat. Let me just make sure we don't get that going forward. Okay, we should be good now. Let's know if it's lagging anywhere in the comment section. And if you join me on Assist as well, welcome to the Assist viewers. If you're on YouTube, you can jump across to Assist. There's a time sync on there, that feature. And I think about the future, because I'll be clipping up highlights of the live stream for me, which is very, very impressive. So thank you to Assist for sorting that out. We'll be live on Assist and YouTube for Soccer Saturday, and then exclusively on YouTube for Super Sunday going forward. It's a massive season. I cannot wait for the football. And last night we got a taste of it at 3 a.m. in the morning here in Australia. But this is a bit better. 7:30 kickoffs here in Perth, Australia. It means a midday kickoff there, over there in the great country of England. And absolutely cannot wait for this one here. Hoping you get no more lag. We've teased and been tempted with a few stops so far before this kickoff. All right. We're almost in readiness. As I said, 3-1 the prediction. Elijah, they're going 2-2. I'd take anything like that. I think we can expect goals. The last few matches to these two clubs has seen goals aplenty. And we're going to have a moment of silence here for Diogo Jota. It was an absolutely incredible moment at Anfield last night with the Tifo. And the silence there, we'll acknowledge that. Bring on the football. Great moment of silence there. Respect. We're going to do a pin drop at Villa Park, but it's going to be loud now. We are ready to go. Season 25-26. A minute away from kicking off for Newcastle United and for Aston Villa. And in the roar of Villa Park. And some autumnal sunshine. Boy, am I excited for this one here. Chomping at the bit. Pawson in charge. Newcastle in their green strip. We are seconds away now from this bad boy getting kicked off. We are underway. For Aston Villa and Newcastle United, it is season 25-26 kicking off. Newcastle from right to left in their change green strip. Villa in the traditional maroon and blue. Kicking from left to right. And straight away, Newcastle get themselves up the pitch. Cash gets us back underway with a throw in. Met there by Mings. And now Tino Livramento, I think, is in for a big season this time around. John McGinn all over him. Foul. There, we are getting, I don't know if this is me or the streaming service, but we're getting some choppy footage. A foul there from John McGinn in the back of Tino Livramento. There we go. Toonami in fine voice in the away end there. And Nick Pope goes long. He's obviously got an interesting season ahead of him with the competition with Ramsdale. Both be vying for that English spot come the World Cup in America in under a year's time now. There's Bruno Guimaraes on screen. He's going to be a key feature of this game here and all season long for Newcastle. I think he is the ultimate test of how they're going. When he's involved and he's making things tick, they look like a better side. Obviously, Anthony Gordon's playing down the middle today with no Alexander Isak. That transfer saga with Liverpool continues to rage on. As John begins. Sips over on the fake grass there. The Geordies let him know about that. Listen to the noise from the away end and that whole tent as well. Onana sliding in. Now McGinn. They're getting choppy footage everywhere. I don't know what's going on. Tielemans. Snuffed out by Fabian Schär. Tonali now. Alanga's gone away. Alanga's through. Oh, great save from Bizzo. Early chance. That's going to be a penalty. And waved away from the referee. Now with Gordon. Gordon for goal. Oh. And a frenetic start. That's set behind for a corner kick. And in the first 3 minutes already, Anthony Alanga showing why Newcastle brought him. Great save. Savable height, though. And then this sort of challenge on... Oh. Oh, and deflected over the bar. My God, it's a lot happening here in the first 3 minutes. The VAR have a look at it, though. I thought he didn't get ball, but VAR's cleared it. And already, Bizot caught into action early on here. His experienced Kieran Trippier of this corner kick. It'll be a right-footed outswinger. Dan Burn, Fabian Schär, Joel Linton, all major targets. It's floated in towards Joel Linton. Flicked on. Gordon picks that up. He'll float. Yamara slips over. Still manages to reach Denali. Gordon's ball diagonally. Dealt with there. Now John McGinn. Well slid in there by Kieran Trippier. For context, those at home, the change of a broadcasting company here in Australia, and I am getting some horrid, choppy visuals here. Audio out of sync. Was pausing and playing. It's not my internet. Check that. So if I have delay reactions, you at home know why. This new company that's taken over the Premier League is shotty. So fix that up, Stan Sport, please. So that's just a heads up for you guys at home on assist on YouTube, why my reaction might be slightly off with the time on screen. Anyway, we proceed. Bizot. It's long. Dan Burn rises. John McGinn made it hard for him. Here comes Yuri Tielemans. And him and McGinn get each other's way. Referee says, get up there, play on. It's only Watkins now. And Livramento gets back in time. Watkins already looking dangerous. And it's back and forth. It's what we expected from these two sides, but my God. Newcastle opened up so easily. Tell you what, Morgan Rogers was at the back stick. Livramento in the end making that strong challenge. My prediction was 3-1 for you guys who are joining us late here on Assist or on YouTube. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. A deep corner. Net by Mings. Now Watkins. Burn into the back of him. The referee says play on. That's a very interesting diagonal from Matty Cash. Interesting season to come for both these football clubs. What we've seen so far is they're both going to play the same attractive style of football, which got them so far across the last 24 months. Villa and Newcastle both respectively being in the Champions League across that time. Newcastle again this season, Villa not this season. But you'd think Villa strong favourites for the Europa League again, like they were 2 seasons ago, and Newcastle, they'll try and make a real fist of it in the Champions League with that home ground advantage. You obviously know how they got that famous win over PSG at St. James's Park over a year ago. And both managers pretty much safe in their job, you'd think. It's about now how they can build. Villa haven't spent. Newcastle have been denied a lot of opportunity for players. So it's very much as you were for both these two sides. That ball falling around and the hook shot from Gordon. Not challenging Bizot. Coming across from Brest and France, as they've mentioned on the commentary as well. Bit of expectation for him. Solid keeper. Got a reputation. And if Ian Martinez isn't to stay, I think he's the man to take that spot and hold it. I think he'll be a very good keeper. A superb backup, but can definitely be seen as a number one. Just a moment for Enzo Conte to fix his footing. Just a little subtle flex for everyone at home. 27 fantasy points after the first night of action, I think I got. Yep. Yep, Salah 16 and Ekatika 11. So just want to say the ball knowledge is showing today. Watkins, Rogers, and Cons are all eyes for me. So I'm wanting a Villa clean sheet, to be honest with you. Anyone else doing FPL at home? Let me know your current score and your teams in the comment section. Have a chat at halftime about some FPL. Back to the football, though. Here's Fabian Schär. And Kieran Trippier. It's another interesting watch this season with Lewis Hall and Livramento around. The youthfulness, the future. How much time does he get this season? See, Newcastle will have that very dangerous and fluid front line with Gordon, Barnes and Alanga. Look, obviously no Alexander either. That's a massive loss, but it might just work for them. It might be a way, an alternative, especially in Champions League football, to go and beat some sides. Here comes a Tonali. Now Alanga's drifted out wide right. He looked to try and get past Luca Digne. Digne puts it out for a throw-in on the far side. Unfortunately, GG, I will be banned if I show you the games. We try to show some highlights of games of the Club World Cup, and the streams got brought down. So as much as I would love to, I cannot. You can... What most people do, they whack me on the side because I'll talk some random shit. Have the game up and just whack me on the side. You can sync it up the time on screen with your TV at home. That's a foul. There from Cash on Harvey Barnes. Here's Unai Emery. I said both managers look to be safe, I think, this season. But Unai Emery, always an expectation with him to win trophies, be successful. I feel like a lot of teased and tempted, but a Carabao Cup or Europa League, it could be on the cards this season. If all things go well and, touch wood for them, no injuries, maybe a double. Here's Livramento. Towards the bar line. Ball back into Harvey Barnes. Ball in. Gordon header. And that's over the crossbar. Great little movement there. Right. Dip and float in that ball from Harvey Barnes. Really gave it some solid whip. And Gordon just gets in between Mings and Digne at the back post. That's a big chance for Anthony Gordon. And that's where you think Alexander Isak's there. That could be in the back of the net for 1-0. He's playing centre forward. He needs to put those chances away. Newcastle now in the first quarter of an hour, 2 massive chances. Morgan Rogers, great take. And pushed down by Tonali. Nothing doing, says the referee. Craig Pawson said that's in the side. Rogers wins it back though. Villa on the front foot now. It's been that type of game, back and forth. No real complaints from Morgan Rogers. Have a chat with the referee now. Just one of those in the side ones that you sort of let go. Watkins looks to lay it off to Rogers. Broken up though by Kieran Trippier. Now can Newcastle break with their very speedy front line? Digne's there to win that ball back though. Matty Cash now. Dropping the ball into John McGinn, who operates down this right-hand channel as the more defensively orientated wide midfielder. Onana's lofted ball, looking for Watkins, but broken up by Dan Burn. Antti Alanga looking to bit of a give and go here with Bruno Guimaraes. Back to the Brazilian. He's had that nicked away from him by Yuri Tillemans. Now John McGinn. That's ended up at the feet of Morgan Rogers. He finds Watkins and McGinn getting into each other's way. Now here come Newcastle. I think every turnover is going to be so costly in this game because the break is on. Livramento again bombing up this left-hand side. Holds it there. Harvey Barnes dropping that ball off but losing it. So Linton wins it back. Barnes again. Another off the ball. Ilanga just mishit it. And cleared away. Dan Burn. Tillemans again. I tell you what, it's a really good start away from home from Newcastle United. You hear those Geordie fans just rising in voice. They believe here. Bright start from those in green. I said at the start, not an easy place to come play Villa Park. And I said it in the predictions as well. A quick start would be nice for Newcastle to just get their feet wet in this game. Because of how tough of a place it is to come and play at Villa Park. This crowd gets involved. Very, very difficult. Some of the biggest teams in the world have struggled. Arsenal, Liverpool, City across 15, 18 months have struggled to come here and get results. Newcastle, all down the left-hand side. It's been Tino Livramento bombing on and overlapping at the left-hand channel, putting balls in the box. And Harvey Barnes also. That's a push in the back from Dan Burn. A little bit too physical to Ollie Watkins. The big centre-half just getting a bit overzealous. We've been touch tight there at Ollie Watkins and fouling the big man. If you're joining me now, about a quarter round into this one here. 3-1 my prediction was in favour of Aston Villa. A lot of my predictions were high scoring this weekend. I think this one will be as well. Just because of the history between these two clubs. Goals are plenty across the last 2 seasons. Here's John McGinn. Whipped in ball, comes off Carshaw. Could have landed anywhere. Dan Burn can't deal with it. Got a fistful of Tielemans' shirt. Hook clear now. It's a foot race that Alanga would like. And Ming just have to put that out of play. Alanga gets it underway straight away. Anthony Gordon now has chopped into trouble, but gotten away with it. Newcastle can calm us back down. Alanga looked for the give and go and ran into a French Lucadinho wall. So far, so good for Newcastle United. Dan Burn having a chat. He's a massive mismatch there on Matty Cash. He's now been located by Kamara. That ball's deep to Bruno. It's come out to Gordon. Oh, and a big save from Bizzo. Whew. Took a touch and could have easily wrong-footed Bizzo. Well worked free kick in the end. Barnes composed. Rolls it back to Gordon. That was fine in the back of the net. Good day, Charlie. Good to see you, my friend. What's your prediction? I want to hear your prediction, Charlie. Let me know in the comments. Tonali this corner. The Italian stallion looking to whip this one in. Right-footed in-swinger. In front of the Holt's end. Lofted in. Bizzo gets that hand onto it. Important touch. And found that somewhere. Villa ball. Thank you, everyone, for joining me on YouTube on Assist. Great to be back. Great to have the Premier League back and pumped about this season. Soccer Saturdays, Super Sundays, all over Europe. We're watching games this year. And we're getting you guys along for the ride. It's going to be good fun. This game has been entertaining already. The first 17 minutes, I've nearly lost my voice with how back and forth has been. 2 big chances for the Geordies. Half chance Ollie Watkins for Villa. On the balance of things, it's been all Newcastle. Here's Nick Pope. He isn't great with the ball at his feet, but he's found Kieran Trippier. And Fabian Schär looks long. Not really much to aim at, but there's some quick runners in that front line. Tonali's header. Met by Anzri Konsa. Now Boubacar Kamara. There's a stat though. 6 attempts to none. In favour of those in green. Now Amadou Onana. And Anzri Konsa. Villa just probing here. They're looking trying to get back into this game. Get a real grip of the momentum as well. It's really been one-way stuff. It's a foul. Late challenge there by Yuri Tielemans on Fabian Schär, who's been in the wars a little bit the first quarter of an hour. Head knock, and then Tielemans letting a mark on him. Well, not really at all. Barely touched him. 0-0 so far, but as I've said a plethora of times already in these first 18 minutes, this game's got goals about it, and this fixture's had goals about it in recent years, so don't fret, people. I think we're just building up here. Dan Burn, little off the ball, looking for Gordon, but Pizzo's off his line. He's had to be active early. Couple punches from corner kicks, coming off his line and collecting. That big save to deny Antti Alanga into the opening 5 minutes. It's been a good start from the former Brest goalkeeper, who's deputising Femi Martinez, who's obviously suspended from that horrible clash last year versus United on the final day. 3-1 is my prediction for those at home in favour of the Villains, but so far I'd have to flip that to Newcastle where they're going. Here's Alanga. Early ball in. It's hit the arm of Mings, but by his side, says Craig Pawson. Poor giveaway from Rogers. He's barely had a sniff. It's Bruno Guimaraes. It's Jolinson. That's overhit, forcing Barnes wide. Livramento. All the ball's been at him and the feet of Harvey Barnes inside the first 20 minutes. Can Barnes loft in another great ball? He sent Cash Shops. Livramento looked offside. Flag hasn't gone up. The ball was poor. Bizzo can just take some sting out of the game. Oh, and we've got some lag. Perfect. Gotta love the new broadcast company just leaving us well and truly short here. Hoping we'll be back synced up soon. We are. Resync for you guys at home. There we are. That's where I'm at. Sandro Tonali now. Here's Dan Burn. Harvey Barnes, he's been a constant thorn in the Aston Villa side. And forced out by John McGinn. To the rapturous applause at Hulk's end. Big day for John McGinn, it looks like, with how well Harvey Barnes is doing that 1v1 matchup versus Matty Cash. Halfway through the first half. Surprised we haven't got a goal. Been a very, very frenetic start. Set my throat chops because I've been up and about for these opening 22 minutes. Non-stop, it feels like. Proper midday kick-off this one here, by the way. Talk about a great start of the Premier League season. Champions on a Friday night. Villa Newcastle on Saturday morning. Football is back. Mings returning. So a bit of head tennis going on here. That ball's landed at the chest of Anthony Gordon. Now Anthony Alanga. Alanga's ball in. And Bizzo again really well off his line and collecting. Really bright start from the goalkeeper. Don't think they would have wanted it, Aston Villa, but he's showing he's got what it takes. Very strong with his hands aerially. Big save versus Alanga. Hasn't put a foot or hand wrong. Onana, poor giveaway. Tonali breaking that up. Doing what he does best and just breaking up the game. Now Kieran Trippier. Haven't seen much of him up that right-hand channel. And Digne just gets rid. Some worried groans at Villa Park here. Restless groans. Hasn't quite been the start those at Villa Park would have wanted, I don't think. A concerned look on the face of Unai Emery because I would have wanted a brighter, more connected start, I think the word is for it. Newcastle played fantastic, but when Villa have got the football, they're just looking a little bit disjointed. Not enough from Yuri Tielemans, not enough from Morgan Rogers, and At the moment, John McGinn and Matty Cash have been run rings around them by Livramento and Harvey Barnes in the left-hand channel. There's Tonali. Now Gordon. Kamara breaks that up, doing what he does best. But again, the delivery to Watkins is poor. And the groans grow louder at Villa Park. Long ball searching for Barnes, broken up by Cash. Better from John McGinn. Taking the tackle and feeding Boubacar Kamara. What has the Frenchman got? This time better into the feet of Ollie Watkins. It's Yuri Tielemans. And Villa once again taking the sting out of it, slowing their game down. Trying to get a bit of the football. It's been a lot of the football at the feet of those in green today. It's a 4-5-1 without the football, really, for Newcastle here. Very compact side, and that's an awful touch of Luca Digne. That doesn't summarise the first half. I don't know what does. I think the positive for the Villa fans is it can't really get much worse from how it is right now. Still without attempt on goal or target in the first 25 minutes here. Hasn't really been particularly unbelievable for the Newcastle midfield either. Something that I often say is their litmus test. You know, the likes of Bruno Guimaraes and Tonali and Joelinton, they haven't quite been highly important. They've been important, but not vital at the start of this game here. So it really has been those attacking and wide players. That's a worrying sign for Aston Villa. But options off the bench, though. They can change things up, but need to be better. Dean's throw. Onana was bundled over. Nothing doing, says Craig Pawson. Tielemans. He lofts that ball in. Ollie Watkins is at the back post, and Tonali done fantastically well to get a touch on that. And the flag goes up. Offside against the centre forward. Just mentioned 5-1 there on the broadcast. That was that opening day 2 seasons ago now. Which felt like the start of the Newcastle run. So that felt like serious. After the year, they went in the Champions League and had those historic nights and was in the group of death. That's a poor turnover. Into Konza. Oh, great challenge from Bruno. And that's fed through for Anthony Gordon. He's got Mings for company. Gordon chopping inside. Cash in the way. Anthony Gordon again having an opportunity to get in behind, but almost knew to chop into that right foot, and that's why they could get 2 bodies in the way of that shot. But again, both teams off turnover, looking so deadly and dangerous. Joelinton around the corner. Here's Kieran Trippier. Time to float in across. Cash away. Only as far as Tino Livramento. Now Fabian Schär, who lines up a shot and sends it into the back row of that top tier of the whole tent. Sorry? I've just heard the stat come up. Fabian Schär is the only one to score at Villa Park for the last 12 years. This is Aston Villa. For the modern Newcastle, the last 3 years, that is an unbelievable stat. And that's subpar for Bizzo. Just handing possession back to Newcastle, who happily oblige. And here they come now through that man who scored earlier. Those goes Fabian Schär. Alanga. Bright start for him so far in the new colours. Little give and go with Trippier. Ends up back at Trippier's feet and a little Travella pass to find Alanga, who can't get his feet sorted. And Looks down his shoes and wonders what if. Just couldn't clear his feet there. A speedy winger. Great little pass from Trippier. He kicked it into his own foot. I tell you what, if I'm Newcastle, I'm a bit upset actually. The way they've started, the chances of that, you'd want to go in at half time, 1-0 up. We're at half an hour in, and you get to see a ball find the back of the net. No worry anyhow, especially because Villa can't really play much worse. Rodgers was bundled over by Trippier. Nothing doing, says the referee or the fourth official. Livramento now. Jeez, look dangerous early on here. Finds the feet of Sandro Tonali, and Bruno Guimaraes looks for the return pass. Anana breaks that up, and Trippier breaks that up. And Tonali shoving an iron on the back to the French cheers of Villa Park. A real nothing type challenge, but in the back, so you can understand the thoughts of Craig Pawson there. Tonali can laugh it off. Obviously, it was his international compatriot, Federico Chiesa, who finally got his debut Premier League goal last night, and what was incredible scenes there at Anfield to win that game against Bournemouth last night. Hell of a matchup there on the opening day. Long ball, always looking long for Ollie Watkins, but he looks the thumb up. Jolinton can turn here. Gets away from Kamara too easily. Give and go with Barnes. Runs into Matty Cash. Goal kick one. And Matty Cash, he just goes to pump up the whole 10. He said, we need you. There really hasn't been much to cheer about, though, for Aston Villa. 40% of the ball, no shots yet. Newcastle, 8 attempts. And 60% of the football. 8-0 has really been the theme of the game. Those stats don't lie. They'll be kicking themselves. Newcastle, if Villa can go and score with their first attempt on target. Barnes runs to a cash brick wall. Pawson's letting the game run today. Outside of the foot pass for Morgan Rogers. Here comes Ollie Watkins. Burns backpedaling. It's Watkins. Sits down Burn. Oh. Fabian Schär's there to clear up. Another dangerous chance for Aston Villa on the break. You know, Emery applauds. Great pass from Morgan Rogers to feed through Ollie Watkins. Livramento got back to help cover off. Dan Burn went to ground too quickly for me. Long throw, hooked away by Joel Linton. Repelled as far as Yuri Tillemans. He still hasn't got involved enough so far in his first half an hour. We saw a little spark there for Morgan Rogers, and that's what he can bring. That's what him and Ollie Watkins, I think, will bring this season on the break. So dynamic, so fluid as a front two almost, a partnership up there. And then John McGinn sort of adds that hustle and bustle. Big season for Ollie Watkins, you feel, as well. World Cup coming up. A subpar season from last time around. Still great numbers, but subpar. So, I want more from him. Great ball from Bizzo to find Luca Dean. And Tillemans just turned into trouble. Bizzo will send this one up the pitch. Rogers gets away from Fabian Schär. And he looks long to find Bizzo, who, once again, is very quick off his line to clear up. Really good start for the new goalkeeper. Pressing those at the Holt end. You always want to do that on your opening day at Villa Park. Rogers away from one challenge, but not the Tonali one. Here come Newcastle again. Elanga. Back to the Italian. What can Elanga do here? Luca Digne coming out to meet him. It's Elanga's ball in. It's low. Away from Tyrone Mings. A great little take there from Ollie Watkins. Smart first touch. Links up with his partner in crime up there, Morgan Rogers. And he floats the ball straight to Nick Pope. Really underwhelming there. And he releases quickly. Livramento's got some green grass ahead of him. This really has been Newcastle's left-hand side, which has been the thorn in the side of Aston Villa. Barnes and Livramento doing their best work. And now Joel Linton joining in. That ball deflected and dealt with by Andrew Konza. Second ball won by Kamara. McGinn, that's awful. I'll put it bluntly. They can't get out, Aston Villa. I said it really can't get too much worse for them this opening 35 minutes. Elanga away from Digne and brought down. That's pretty close to a yellow card if you ask me. He's done a great job in his professional debut for the Geordies. Just a lazy chance from Luca Digne. One more of them they can get in the book. And Elanga wasn't really going anywhere. There was support in midfield to cover off, but he stuck a leg out and brought down the Swedish international. Trippier over another set pace. We know how good he can be from in and around the 30-yard area. A little bit out to shoot, but danger opportunity to whip a ball in. Trippier's ball in, lofted, Joel into the target. Went over them, and Bruno Guimaraes just gave up on that ball at the back post. And that runs away for a Villa goal kick. I can't tell it'd be more frustrated. Would it be Eddie Howe? Would it be Emery? Because that's how they're not up at the moment, Newcastle. It is beyond me. They always say the most important stat is the big one on the screen, which still says 0-0. Every other category is well and truly in the favour of the Geordies. Cher wins that header. Oh, that's a dodgy back pass for Trippier to deal with. But he's come back well to make a challenge. Pat on the shoulder there for Boubacar Kamara as well. Tackles flying in a match day one. We love to see it. So, you know, professional footy's back. If you're joining me late, 3-1 prediction I had for this game here in favour of Aston Villa. Looking nowhere near that right now with lack of chances and goals in this game. More importantly for Aston Villa. There's Dan Burn. Linton. Bruno Guimaraes. For a few times today, Newcastle playing at a bit of a slower tempo. Oh, once again, Elanga smart. Past Digne. And then nearly past Onana as well, but Rogers back to clear up. McGinn. Been wasteful so far in this game. But goes back to Tyrone Mings. Kamara can turn. And Guimaraes takes him out. So dangerous, Anthony Elanga. So dangerous, Harvey Barnes. They're all a very similar mould of player. Tricky, direct, speedy. Want to get to goal. It's going to be a real handful. I know that they've got no Alexander Isak, but that front line with how dynamic it is. Cross into the box, you might struggle, but everywhere else, it's going to be a real handful. Cash now. Back to Bizzo. Rolls into the feet of Kamara. He has space to turn and time to do so as well. Into the feet of Rogers. Back to the Frenchman. This is much better for Aston Villa. Getting out of their own half with ease this time around. 6 and change left in regular first half time. Rogers can pick that ball up. Oh, Fabian Schär, superb. He's had a hell of a first 45 minutes. So the full four at the back for Newcastle have been superb. The front three have been great as well. Midfield have done their job. It's been a real faultless performance outside of the finishing factor. It's dropped to Watkins. The flag eventually goes up. Debburn is furious with the linesman. It just felt off the whole time, but eventually, yes. That flag did go up. Looks like he just... Oh, gee, it was closer than you actually think. Livramento. Great little ball into Bruno Guimaraes. He can't escape the Kamara challenge, but he just hoofed that straight to Nick Pope. A bit more petite, I think Aston Villa need to be. Come the second half. And ball looking for Tielemans. A damn burn. That's a proper challenge. Big fella just absolutely munched up the ground. What a challenge on the big fella. To the delight of some of those Newcastle fans. In the back of that picture. Here's Kamara. Growing into this game. Mings finding Matty Cash. That Cash ball is poor as well. He's really had a tough time of it in the first half. Aston Villa yet to have an attempt in this game. It's really good. The noise coming from that away end. And the Geordie boys made the shorter trip south for this one. Dan Burn greatly controlled with his chest. Was that ball back to Joel Linton? Now Sandro Tonali. It's now still added it to 2. Pardon me. Kamara wins that off Bruno Guimaraes. Ollie Watkins ahead of him. Let's roll back to Morgan Rogers, who's teasing us in this game here. Onana. Villa forced backwards again. Poor passing. Misplaced, misjudged, overhit, underhit. It's really been a mixed bag for Villa in this first 45 minutes. Newcastle have looked polished until that final end product. Villa have looked far from it. Lot can change in a half-time team talk, though. Will there be a team that might just nick a lead here? Kamara. Good little ball for Rogers. Had to do a lot to keep that alive. And Nick Pope can gobble up that sky ball. Look at the Villa bench, see if they can bring anyone on. It's Harvey Barnes. Sorry, I'm missing out on this. Barnes. Livramento. Cross blocked by Matty Cash. Brendia. Doniel Marlon. Ian Matson. Samuel Illing Jr. All players that can come on from the bench. Obviously, Pau Torres at centre half as well. For Newcastle, you've got Sven Botman. You've got Lewis Hall. Will Oshula. Lewis Marley and Jacob Murphy, all options that they're giving off the bench as well. As we are a minute and a bit away from the end of the first 45. We've got a few stoppages, but not many, you'd think. Ball in doesn't meet the man at the front post. Second ball flicked on by Camara. That's Fabian Scher. Lofting that in, met by Matty Cash. Now John McGinn can turn. Hasn't got the speed to escape anyone, but that's a better ball for Camara. And Anthony Gordon tracking back superbly. A great job in the end by Joel Linton to win that ball back. Another great recovery run from Newcastle. They're fit, they're strong, they're physical. And that's your centre forward tracking back. Oh, Joel Linton was caught on it. I think he got away with it on there. He got a right smile there, but he's gone through him to get it. Gordon, just ahead of Bruno Guimaraes. Another poor giveaway at the back. This time Ming's a little bit more assured. Jolinton in through the back of Anana, and that'll be the first booking of this matchup. Caught on the ball and then caught Anana. Not a great challenge at all. Eddie, it wasn't the ball, my friend. It was far from it. Oh, no stoppage time at all. There you go. That brings an end to 45 interesting minutes. Underwhelming for Aston Villa. They're yet to have an attempt on goal for Newcastle. Underwhelming. They're not 1 or 2 up. Alanga had a shot in the first 5 minutes, saved by new man Bizot. Anthony Gordon put a header over the crossbar. Many chances coming down the left-hand side from Tino Livramento and Harvey Barnes. Somehow Newcastle aren't in the ascendancy. It's still 0-0. Villa, a lot of improving to do. Newcastle just need to find the back of the net. I'll go and have a short halftime break. I'll be back for the second half. A lot to watch out for as Newcastle look to search for that first goal and Villa look just for an avenue back into this game. I'll have a short 15-minute break for halftime, guys. I'll see you guys very, very soon after the halftime into it. Ladies and gents, it was a quick turnaround there, but we're back for the second half. Oh, no, we're not. We've gone too early. Now we're back. It is Villa in their traditional claret and blue, kicking to the Holt end, right to left on screen. And Newcastle to change green strip from left to right now. Syncing up, and we are good to go. Here we go, Villa corner early, here we go. All right, now we're all synced back up. We're ready to go. Here's John McGinn. Chops the other way, right for the ball. Kamara! And straight away, tempting Pope a minute and a half into the second half. Much better going from Aston Villa. Great ball in. Gets good connection on the header. Just any other side of Pope, it's probably 1-0. That's what I was talking about in the first half. For Newcastle United, you've got to be kicking yourself. You didn't go into the ascendancy with all that domination. McGinn isn't happy. He says shoulder to shoulder. Referee Pawson disagrees with that. However, much better from Villa here. That's their one attempt. One on target. Nana's gone over the shoulder, look for Digne, and that's just overstruck. From Bizzo. Tonali heads back. Why does there be these problems sinking early in the half? Ridiculous. I think we're back online now. Let me know what you think in the comment section if we're a bit off. There's Fabian Schär. Better from Villa. Newcastle still have that sharp edge about them when they turn it on. Interesting watch the second half now, considering how Aston Villa start like a house on fire there with that chance for Boubacar Kamara. There's Emi Martinez. Looking like he's staying at Villa Park. Suspended for this game here. That's why Bizzo's deputising, and what a start he made in the first half. Well done from John McGinn. Now comes Amadou Onana. Great ball in from Digne to find Watkins. Dealt with by Dan Burn, who's struggling. See Dan Burn go down is not a great sight because he's not normally the guy to go down. Good start for Aston Villa in the second half. More of this, what we're seeing there with Watkins and Digne going direct and getting on the football. Tielemans in dangerous areas. That's what you want to see from Aston Villa. First half underwhelmed. Second half so far, so good. Put it on. Hooked away. Should have sent myself off here in the centre of the screen. There we go. Cash sends that one into touch. Let us know your predictions, guys, if you're with us in the comment section of YouTube or Assist. Once again, I'll be doing more admin and I'll mention this a few more times, but Saturdays, Super Saturdays, Soccer Saturdays, Assist and YouTube live streams. Sunday, Super Sunday is a YouTube exclusive live stream. Tomorrow we got Chelsea and Crystal Palace, the Eagles. The Seagull Eagles. The Eagles and Chelsea. The Chelsea boys will be back. Colby and Alex are back on the couch tomorrow. 3-man live stream. Keen for that. Still got this game to go here, and we got 40 exciting minutes to come. Here's Boubacar Kamara broken up by Bruno Guimaraes. Tenley Livramento cleaning that one up defensively. And playing with his feet a bit. And John McGinn put him under pressure. No foul. And Villa are up. They're up and about. They're pressing. This is better from John McGinn. It's better from Villa. It's more intense. It's at you. It's direct. That word, purposeful. Much better. A long throw here. Mings, Onana, Watkins, all targets in this long throw. Ensri Konsa's wandering up as well. They're going short. Now Kamara. Going to be more incisive. John McGinn just gets away from him, but not as far as Matty Cash. Have to go back to the goalkeeper after all of that. Bizzo. The searching ball for Morgan Rogers. He initially does an alright job, but cleared away by Dan Burn. Onana's done very, very well there. Skips away from Bruno Guimaraes. Digne's first time ball. Deflects off Alanga and behind for another Villa corner. To the rapturous applause of those in the whole tent. Oh, this end the whole tent sucks balls into the back of the net. You have a feeling here. Much more purposeful, energetic second half here from Villa, and you just feel like the pressure's building on Newcastle, and it'd be proper Premier League lesson 101. Don't take your chances. So they'll come back to hurt you. Same faces, Watkins, Onana, Mings, Konsa, and Co. All targets in the box. They go short again. Tielemans lofts it in and no one attacks it. Oh, no one went after it. Wow. They all just stood there. And it just floated into the back. Anyone gets to the end of that, it's a goal. Bizot flat-footed. Newcastle flat-footed. Villa flat-footed. That is bizarre. You saw one earlier with Bruno Guimaraes at the back post, just didn't want to chase it in. It was almost exactly the same carbon copy. Oh, massive opportunity for Aston Villa. Phenomenal. No one's gone after that. There you go. There's a couple of shots fired early on here from Aston Villa. Andy Cash gets back underway here with the throw-in. Looks long in the Morgan Rogers direction. First touch was poor, but he won it back. Tricky to get past Sandro Tonali. Had a shirt pull, but Craig Pawson says nothing doing. There's a bit of feeling here in this one. Crossfield pass to find Kieran Trippier. His first touch has to be good. Second touch was to hook over his shoulder. Kept alive and done well by Anthony Elanga. Gordon. Bruno Guimaraes. Oh, great block from Enzo Konza in the end, because otherwise Newcastle are out. Now Villa are going forward. John McGinn. Not much offered towards him. Surrounded by 4 in green. And those in green win out against the 1 in claret and blue. Rogers fouling Joelinton. And he's incensed. It's a very similar action to what happened earlier, and that's why I think he's very, very upset. Not much in it, but enough for the referee to say it's a foul. Yeah, Villa faithful, letting know, Craig Pawson know what they think of him. Look at that, 63% of the football to 37 in the second half. That has been it. It's been a tale of two halves so far. This really is one of those non-top 6 derbies. They're always really, really enthralling. Kieran Trippier's first touch was horrid, and that meant that ball was broken up by Luca Digne. And Fabian Schär, who's probably been the best player on the pitch, puts it out for a throw. You know, football's back when you're hearing Premier League corrupt as fuck. That's when you know the game's back. It's been too long. Digne searching for and finding Rogers. Little flick around the corner. Watkins. It was McGinn at the back post. He didn't quite get there. Tino Livramento meeting that ball. Gordon's header. The wrong direction. Falls to Rogers. Tielemans just took too long and Joelinton nicked it off his foot. Now Dan Burns wandering forward. Joelinton finds his blonde brother in Bruno Guimaraes. Now Fabian Schär. Now's Anthony Elanga. The Newcastle spread. It's Elanga. Just overdid it in the end. Kamara brought down by Trippier. A few challenges just flying in now. Referee has to take control of this game. Look at Unai Emery down the touchline, prancing, demanding of his players. Another turnover. Tonali's first touch was average, but it's just forward to Anthony Elanga, who's been taken out by Kamara. That's probably the most easy yellow card Craig Pawson will give all season. Really scrappy in those midfield areas today, hasn't it been? Maybe just a theme of both midfields being those robust, combative combinations. Kamara and Onana, and then you've got Joelinton and Tonali. They are aggressive combinations. They are physical. It's made it a real scrap in the central area. It's really been about who's dominated the wide space. Free kick taken short by Bruno Guimaraes. Just floated into Fabian Schär. Burns got in his way. A fantastic work free kick. With the two centre forwards. Goal up each other's space. Eddie Howe in sense. Oh, such a well-worked free kick. Short to Bruno Guimaraes, who just lofted it towards the back post. It was Schär's ball to go. Dan Burn, rare for him to have a lack of awareness like that. He sees the funny side of it, but I don't think Fabian Schär was quite on the same page as him. Schär winning that header again. Tonali's flicked on ball. Anana then picks that one up. Incredible we haven't had a goal so far in this one. An hour in, still 0-0. Dink ball for Matty Cash to go get a hold of. And in the end, goal kick. It's a real hard one to call without many limbs are just in that tight vicinity. It does look like it comes off Dan Burn actually in the end. Might have got away with on there, the big Newcastle defender. Long from, I think Piper gets back up and underway. That's a foul. To the excitement of those Aston Villa fans. A bit of a side injury there to Tyrone Mings. I don't know if it's the jumping action or the actual collision. You always worry with Tyrone Mings after that awful knee injury and the damage that did to him. Looks like he's good to go though, because lack of action on the bench there. He's back up, ready to go. No Pau Torres today. It's Mings and Konsa. Obviously, no Aaron Ramsdale today. Nick Pope for Newcastle in the sticks, which will be a story all season, you feel like. Here's Lucadinha. Villa just almost sharpening up here. It's like a bit of a pre-season match for them in the first half, the way they were so out of sync. This is more like it, though. More possession, more dangerous actions, more direct. I think for them, though, it's the pace and the intensity, much quicker. 1-2 touch stuff. Get it out your feet. Ping the pass. And the Villa Park faithful are matching the energy as well. Konsa. Oh, Konsa's made a mare. Cleaned up by Kamara's. To be honest, improving as the game goes on. Conser. Good for Mings to roll Livramento. He's trying to go at him for pace. And fair play, he's done well. Watkins keeps it alive. Good block in the end from Joel Linton. Here's Harvey Barnes. Haven't seen much of him in the second half. That ball's just come off the back of Fabian Schär. Stopped a very, very promising Newcastle break. Anthony Gordon was out. Quieter down here the second half. Less back and forth like we saw in the first, but there's still that threat there, you feel like. This is good for Aston Villa. Rodgers, Watkins, oh, straight at Nick Pope in the end. Finally got an opportunity in and around the box, Villa. Much better here. It's that one touch, as I'm saying, one touch stuff. Into Tielemans, out of Tielemans' feet. Rodgers, out of his feet. Into Watkins, and the angle was always closing with the defenders backtracking. But straight at Nick Pope. That Livramento pass is wayward. Rodgers, little dink ball, searching for and finding John McGinn. He's well and truly onside. Now Matty Cash. Little dinked in ball rather than a chipped in one. And Paul. Now Langer can get running. And he can feed in Anthony Gordon. He should have the beating for Konza. And that's got to be red. That has to be red. He's got to be off. And he's off. He panicked. He had him for beating a pace. And as a pulling of the hair. And he was off. He was definitely off. And Konza can thank Matty Cash for that awful cross. Alanga was away. And Gordon's in his own half. So he's onside. Great ball from Alanga. And yeah, he's got to go. Has to go. Last man. He panicked. He was going for pace. Gordon's through. Because Mings ain't catching. And Konza, I don't think he's catching Anthony Gordon either. Yeah, grabbed the shoulder. Clearly, it's a stonewall red. Huge turning point. And it all comes from a really, really poorly worked cross from Matty Cash, who for me has had probably the worst game of anyone on the pitch. That face in Emery says it all. You expect Pau Torres to enter the fray and probably Morgan Rodgers and Ollie Watkins to make way. It is about game management now for Aston Villa. The point here looks fantastic. Now they're down to 10 with just under half an hour to play. I think the more urgent case is defending this free kick before they get the new centre-half on the pitch, because this is Kieran Trippier type territory. Far out, but for someone like Kieran Trippier who strikes the ball so well, this is in his wheelhouse. It's a two-man wall with McGinn and Tielemans, and then a three-man Newcastle wall to the left-hand side of them. Trippier has got his name all over this. Bizot is central in the goal. Alanga are also standing over this one. Will it be a set-piece technique or will it be Kieran Trippier? It's some sort of technique share. And a little bit rushed in the end. Have a look at this replay. This cross. It's a nothing ball, then you're out. 2v3, 2v4, if you have to. But Alanga's speed, Gordon's speed, it's football suicide. Such a poor mistake from Cash. And Konza, look, he's freaked out, he's panicked and he's made the mistake, but the mistakes are up the pitch. You can't give the ball away like that from a crossing position. Newcastle have to go after win this game. They will kick themselves if they can't get 3 points here now. Dominated 70% of this game, had the better chances. Now I've got the man advantage. Got to make it count. At the moment, I can't see Pau Torres readying himself on the touchline unless he's warming up. Okay, maybe it's him at the top there warming up. So it's Kamara at centre half for the time being. And it's the four of Rogers, Tielemans, Onana, and McGinn now in front of that back four. Watkins as the striker. Barnes, Livramento. This combination was so fruitful in the first half an hour. Jolinton turning. Tonali one touch. But poor. John McGinn. Back to Boubacar Kamara. He's filling at centre half now. Digne. Villa playing out from the back, and I don't know if I would be with 10 men. Watkins does well. Gets away from Fabian Schär. Not once, but twice. Rogers making the run. Ignores him. And instead looks for John McGinn. Probably the safer play to keep possession. McGinn. Advantage play from the referee. Brought down by Gordon. Villa now on the ball. Digne. Whipped in ball. Behind everyone. Goes to McGinn. McGinn. Tries to turn off. Livramento. Reading that like a book. Hell of a game for 10 Livramento as well. Fabian Schär, Livramento and Anthony Gordon have had superb games for Newcastle United. Same as this man, Anthony Alanga. He just hasn't quite had the finished product. Alanga. Keeps a hold of it. Finds Bruno Guimaraes. Gordon. Onana went to ground way too early for my liking. Livramento. Now Barnes. Barnes. And Digne had to put it behind because Alanga was at the back post. Villa already looking scraggly at the back. You don't wonder how far Pau Torres is off. I was thinking he'd be straight away, but I'm obviously happy to go with Kamara at centre half for the time being. There's Geordie's behind Kieran Trippier. He lofts that ball in. Dan Burns somehow doesn't get his head on it. Schär. Gordon. Dinked ball in. Dealt with by Lee Watkins. Recycled back now to Anthony Gordon, who strikes. Cash wore that. Tonali. Guimaraes. It's a great floated ball, but Bizot again, well off his line. Collect his teammate for good measure. Burns safely back to Nick Pope. I feel like we're going to get here a blockbuster finish. It just feels like it's going to be some dodgy counter-attack for Villa, or we could see 3 or 4 here for Newcastle. I keep saying it, these games in recent years have delivered goals. It'd be a real shame to have a 0-0 here. Watkins, poor giveaway. Guimaraes wins it back. Tonali now. Trippier is just growing into this game as it's gone deeper. Anthony Alanga, 1v1 versus Luca Digne. It's a good cross. Gordon, oh, he's in the way of Barnes. Oh, it's blocked by the Villa defender. He's Cash again. He's just wearing footballs. Oh, he's fucking Warner again. I can't believe it. That's straight. Exactly where he copped the first. I thought Gordon got in the way of the Barnes shot. Oh, then hands in. They're getting run around right now, Aston Villa. This is Looking worse and worse as the minutes go on. Tonali. Dealt with by Onana. Livramento, floater. Again, no one attacking it. That'll do for the Villains. Oh, we've got a little moment here. I'll give you all at home that are joining me a look ahead to the weekend and my predictions. All right, I had a 4-0 Liverpool win, so we're taking that. I had a 3-1 Villa win here, which isn't going to happen. 1-1 between Brighton and Fulham up next. I've gone with that. I've gone with a 3-2 Black Cats win versus West Ham. 1-0 Spurs win over Burnley. City later tonight can get the 2-0 win over Wolves. 3-0 Forest over Brentford. 2-1 in our fixture game tomorrow on Super Sunday. Chelsea over Crystal Palace. I've got a 1-1 United Arsenal draw. Am I delusional? Probably, but I've gone that. And then on Monday Night Football, I've got Everton 3-1 over Leeds United. A lot of goals predicting. We saw a lot of goals last night. Maybe we've used them all up in one game because we haven't seen any here. Harvey Barnes. Got Matt Cash backpedaling. Tricky little ball in. Alanga at the back post, and that's wild and over the crossbar. Just wondering if we do get a Willa Schuler for Newcastle. Do we get a Lewis Marley on? Just had a bit of a different avenue. This is just where you need an Alexander Easy, isn't it? As would everyone, but just centre forward right now to cross the ball into. Or Benjamin Sesko. Like, you take, it's just a centre forward right now, just to whip balls into the box, test this Villa back line, especially with only one recognised centre half. But then with that today, they're playing 3 left wingers realistically up top. Put the ball back yet again. Fabian Schär. Langa's got a lot of space in this far side, and that's where the ball comes to. Langa. Chopping inside. Finding Barnes. Shot blocked by Onana. He urges his side to get up. Villa start seeing deeper and deeper. They've now got John McGinn to help out and almost make it a 5 defensively. Joel Linton drifting out wide left. Sandro Tonali. Dan Burn. Having Schär. Now with Anthony Alanga. Once again chopping inside. Another really, really average ball. It feels like a first game of the season, doesn't it? Here comes Jacob Murphy. This could be the man. Career season last time out. 15 assists, if I'm not mistaken, in the Premier League, or 12 assists. One hell of a year for him. Can he be the man to just break apart this Villa side? Anthony Alanga makes way. The new man comes off, and it's the player that he replaced in the starting 11. Jacob Murphy comes on in his place. He was the man. He could have given the lead in the opening 5 minutes, but then he shot straight at Bizot. And ever since, he's been a threat with crossing opportunities and the like, but just hasn't really affected the game in terms of having that clinical edge in the final third. And that is Anthony Alanga. You're going to get that some days. That's why he's not a big 6 type player. He's got a lot of exciting features and characteristics. He can take over games. Week in, week out, not consistent enough in that final third with the end product. Watkins tackled to the ground by Trippier. Somehow nothing doing, says Craig Pawson. And Watkins going to absolutely... Oh, he was going to steam through whoever that was. Harvey Barnes finds Gordon. And he put a body through Matty Cash. He's worn another big hit to the torso. Getting a little bit feisty here as we approach the last 10 minutes. A few challenges flying in, and a few Villa fans quite edgy, as they would be. Here's Murphy now, his first chance to show us what he's got. Chops it off to Bruno Guimaraes. And now Trippier. You feel like it's coming down this right-hand side. It's been the better side in the second half. Oh, gee. Tielemans collects Guimaraes. They just make up and say, play on. Share, crossfield ball. That diagonal's great to Livramento. It's in the box. Oh, Gordon was getting there, but not there quick enough. And me and Eddie Howe at the same posture. We're thinking, my God. That was splendid football. Great diag. First time ball. If he goes with his left foot, might get the angle to bring Gordon back into it. But if he goes right-footed, actually Cash is there. It forces it wide. It's unfortunate. They're set as well. And Alexander Isak, and Ekatike, Sesko, anyone a centre forward right now, they're probably 2 or 3 to the good. Maybe this is the wake-up call the owners need. They need to get a striker in ASAP. No Calvert-Lewin on the market anymore. They need a forward. Here's Jacob Murphy. He's not going to be the same dynamic player like Ante Elanga is, but he's tricky. He's probably a bit more consistent with balls into the box. Different avenue now for Newcastle. They're swinging out the left. Here's Harvey Barnes. He knows how to whip a ball into an area. That ball broken up. Digne just searches for green grass. Green grass is where Dan Burn gobbles it up. He's done fantastically well to keep that ball away from Ollie Watkins. Hasn't put a foot wrong today. That slide ball too heavy for Anthony Gordon. Kamara holding up at centre half so far. So far, so good for him. We've got a problem here. John McGinn down. He copped a knock to the back. All right. Substitution time. Subs the clock here. With a couple minutes left, John McGinn makes way. Daniel Marlin on to replace him. And Lewis Miley has been introduced into the game. The youngster in place of Joel Linton. 3 big games coming up next. Spurs, Burnley. It's going to be probably the big watch. Sunderland, first game up against West Ham. First time they've been in the top flight for around 10 years or so. Miley finding Trippier. What can the young kid here, Lewis Miley, do? Dan Burn. Kamarish. Fabian Schär. Kieran Trippier. Jacob Murphy. It's funny how teams look better defensively when they lose a man versus before they lost it, because Villa looks solid now. They aren't having that same drive to go forward, but they're compact, they're limiting opportunities, they're preventing crosses into the area, not getting caught out in transition. Just look at the line, it's still a high line. That's a great ball to find Livramento. Could this be the chance for Newcastle? Barnes. One way than the next, and that ball broken up by Onana. Runs as far as Dan Burn. It's back known now with Harvey Barnes. Blocked away by Matty Cash, who seems to be everywhere since the red card. And really good from Watkins. And Rodgers away from one, but not the second challenge. Gamarish now. Slips that in for Harvey Barnes. Again, he wants to chop back. Drills it in. It's Gordon, his touch is poor. And it's gotten away from him again, Anthony Gordon. Had one of those days. That was it, you felt, for Newcastle. Oh, chest control from Fabian Schär, who says, I'll take that. Back they go again. Lewis Miley. Oh, and that's wayward. That's what a kick can give you. Under 4 minutes to go now for Eddie Howe and this Newcastle side to make something happen. Dinier's long throw. Met once more by Fabian Schär. Gordon. Now Miley. Gamarish. Not the best back pass. Pope comes. It's quite composed in the end. One touch stuff there. Marlon wins it back though. Gamarish wants it and gets it. Now here come Newcastle. And Gordon was in again, but the pass didn't quite break it through. Now we get a moment. 3 on 4. Watkins. Marlon. Daniel Marlon. Oh. Test the keeper, but Pope was up to it. As I say, it could be a funny old one where Villa nick it on the break. Got to be careful, Newcastle, not to get caught out. Gordon now drifts out wide. Barnes to the middle. Here's Anthony Gordon. Cass backpedaling. Still Gordon. There's Barnes. It's Harvey Barnes. And he's gone under it. It's a big opportunity missed for the Englishman. That's his spot as well. Edge of the area, onto your right foot. And it's just not been Newcastle's day, isn't it? Everything until the final end product has been fantastic. But in and around the box, it's been ugly. It has been scrappy. It's been poor. It's lacked that finesse. 2 minutes plus stoppages to go. Splendid day. Football, not quite. Bernard Watkins fly. Foul on the big centre half. Clear push there for the centre forward on the big centre half. There's Willis Schuler. Really keen to see how much game time and how influential he can be this season as that backup centre forward. There's a ball to Tonali. It comes off his back heel to find Gordon. Now Harvey Barnes, he's tripped on it. And he's given her a foul. And that sort of summarised his afternoon, especially in the second half. I just realised Cons is in my FPL, and he's picked up the red card. Well, that's just shit house. So he gets the minutes played in the clean sheet list. If all goes well. Morgan Rogers 3 points as well. It's not looking good for the FPL today. 3 Villa players. I think that was a mistake. Dan Burn with a shove in the back, but again the referees ignored it. And now here comes Willa Schuler. That's how to play. These Villa fans quite rightly not happy. Six minutes that on. Rogers wins that back. That ball just too much for Marlon to do. It's going to come stretched now. It's kitchen sink type stuff for Newcastle. Great footwork there from Anthony Gordon. Gordon! Oh. Test Bizzo, but can the keeper up to it? It's one of the first shots we've seen on target for a very long time. This chopping inside, past 1, 2, 3. In the end, 4 defenders. And a little bounce in front of Bizzo. It can be tough, but keeper was up to it. Throw Villa. That long throw reaching Morgan Rogers. He's kept it alive. Got a shove, but again, nothing. Lofted up. Cash dealt with initially. Gordon slipped. That gifted possession back to Villa. 2 down to the 6. 4 to play. Pizzo. Now Kamara. Newcastle just haven't looked the piece since they've had the man advantage. Miley. That was a lazy first time pass. Here come Villa on the break though. Rogers just ran on the football. It's that type of game, isn't it? Tonali. Now Jacob Murphy rolls into Bruno Guimaraes. It's his sort of range. Oh, he tried to slip it into a Schuler, and that was a mistake and then fouls. It's really ugly. Oh, it's been a tough second half. Watch, people. If you stay with me, I appreciate it. Because this is far from living up to the midday kickoff type energy or vibe. And I was feeling coming to this one. I was pumped. The first half an hour, I thought we were going to get a goal fest. Not to be. But it's the Premier League. There might be another twist to this ongoing tale. Another turn in the script. Good ball for Ashula. It's Will Ashula. To Miley. Two of the youngsters linking up. It's Will Ashula. Oh, it looked on target as well. Important headed block by Mings. Yeah, it is Mings in the end. That's a game-saving block from Tyrone Mings. 2 minutes to go. Do Newcastle find a way through? Pull in. Fizzo doesn't deal with it. Tillemans gets rid. He just says, we'll look for touch. 90-odd seconds to go. You know, Emery just urging his players, give me more. 90 more seconds. Anthony Gordon. Lewis Smiley. It feels like it's going to be a Gordon or a Schuler type effort to win this game. Murphy's ball. Repelled by Tyrone Mings. Flicked on by Lewis Smiley. Tillemans gets the other nod on. Watkins runs past Fabian Schär. They get the free kick, and that should be that, you'd think. Yeah, he's got a whole armful there, Fabian Schär, of Ollie Watkins. And that's a very fair foul to give away. So not only not happy, but I think Newcastle as a whole football club won't be happy after this. Neither will Villa. No one really wins out from this game here. The classic case of a draw sort of summarises what these two teams will feel going out of it. No one really wins from this. Newcastle dominated, had the man advantage, didn't do anything with it. And Aston Villa at home, opening day, really average, really poor. We've got 15 seconds to go. Pope looks to get Newcastle on the front foot. Do they have one last push? Can they land the ultimate killing blow? I don't think so. And I don't know so, because that is full time. Well, it was something. It was football. Far from the best of most of the two sides. I think they'll play 10 times better than this throughout the season. You might not get a worse Villa performance, but they'll take the point. Newcastle will probably leave Villa Park more disappointed of the two. They had 10 men to play against for around 25 minutes. They had Gordon and Alanga go close in the first half. Gordon again in the second half. But in the end, ugly, scrappy top game. 0-0 between Aston Villa and Newcastle. On to the next for both these two clubs. They look to push for Champions League football this season. Thanks for joining me, guys. It's been good. It's not been great, but there's always more to come. We'll be back tomorrow, myself and some of the Chelsea fans, for a all-London affair. Chelsea host Crystal Palace in our Super Sunday fixture. For Super Saturday, it has been a pleasure, guys, for our first week of Super Saturday action. I'll see you guys next week for the show. Thank you for everyone joining me on Assist and on YouTube. Join me tomorrow exclusively on YouTube for Super Sunday.